said, it's all right at the moment, but if it got a little bit cooler, there could be a problem. Right, summer break approaches before we're off to the beaches. We have round 9, the MotoGP World Championship.
It's Marc Marquez a great getaway from pole position, but it's his teammate Dani Pedrosa up the inside that's going to take the lead. Lorenzo sweeping right around the outside of the two Repsol Hondas. Marc Marquez has got the inside line and now takes the lead back. Lorenzo up the inside of Marc Marquez. Lorenzo in the lead. This is just what the race needed. Somebody had to get in front of Marc Marquez early on. It's Lorenzo, Marquez and Dani Pedrosa.
Absolutely brilliant from Jorge Lorenzo. Lorenzo at his best. They thought they'd done it. They thought they'd got there. Lorenzo had a different idea. Fabulous stuff. We're not even half a lap in.
Right around the outside of Marquez and Pedrosa, Lorenzo rode at that first corner. There's Valentino Rossi. He's already picked off Yoni Hernandez off the grid. He's got Andrea Iannone one place ahead of him now. Rossi has got to get by that factory Ducati as soon as he possibly can to stop Marquez, Pedrosa and Lorenzo making a break at the front. It's Lorenzo that leads the way down through turn 11 for the first time. Marc Marquez there, the number 93 in hot pursuit. Dani Pedrosa third. Rossi up the inside of Iannone. Here we go. Valentino Rossi's made it stick. Rossi up to 4th place. Bradley Smith just behind him is also on the move.
Brilliant start by the Yamahas, you've got to say. So it's Lorenzo that leads the way up through turn 13. Marc Marquez is very, very close indeed. Willie trying to take him at turn 1 in the early stages of the racing. 29 laps to go. More of this, please, as Lorenzo leads the way and Rossi closes up on Pedrosa.
Yeah, Rossi really had to work hard on the brakes there to keep Andrea Iannone at bay, because that Ducati would have really powered out of that final corner. Iannone did draw alongside Valentino Rossi. Rossi held firm on the brakes. Oh, Scott Redding has crashed out. Scott Redding an early faller here. That's down at the final corner, turn 13. Poor old Scott Redding, the number 45, out of the race. He's not been a kind corner at all so far today for the British, for the Mark VDS team. There he goes, just front end washing away for Scott Redding. Back at the front, Lorenzo still leads the way from Marquez, from Pedrosa. Valentino Rossi has picked off the two Ducatis as he needed to do quickly. He's up into 4th.
Lorenzo up the hill, up towards turns 9 and 10. Two fast left-handers, then this phenomenally quick flick down through turn 11, over 200 kilometers an hour, and then the favourite overtaking spot here at the Saxon Ring is turn 12, but nobody will be overtaking it. Valentino Rossi is great there, and that's Yoni Hernandez going past Andrea Iannone.
Hernandez there momentarily up the inside of Iannone into 5th place. That was a hard move on the brakes from the Colombian. He's chasing a career best top 6 finish so far. Dylan.
Yeah, also I think Yoni Hernandez is running that medium option front tyre, so that's a little bit harder than the one that Iannone's running. He's running the asymmetric.
Lorenzo still leads away. Rossi has got them in his sight. He got the start that he wanted. Marquez, can he be patient? Can he wait there in 2nd place? Rossi would try and push him along at a fair old pace. Don't rule out Dani Pedrosa, but I don't think we're going to see a better first 2 bends of a Grand Prix from a rider than we saw from Jorge Lorenzo. Absolutely superb.
He went into that first corner third, then just rode around the outside of the two Repsol Hondas. It was one of the most audacious moves I've ever seen here at the first corner in the Saxon Ring. Valentino Rossi, new lap record from the Italian, 1:21.812. He was the quickest man on the track last time out. Oh, huge moment there for Valentino Rossi. That was at the top of the hill coming out of turn number 6. We've lost Mike DeMeglio further down the field, but what a huge moment for Valentino Rossi. He's just getting the power on to drop down the hill through turn 6. He lost the rear. A great save by the Italian, but that's dropped him off the back of Dani Pedrosa momentarily.
Marc Marquez in 2nd place. They come up towards turn 13. Final corner, this difficult uphill left-hander. Long way to go. Still 27 laps to go. Lorenzo, Marquez looking comfortable now in 2nd place. Pedrosa, Rossi, big moment which he survived. Behind him crossing the line, Iannone Hernandez, Bradley Smith, Crutchlow, Holder Spargo, Alessia Spargo, Vincenzo, Trucci, Bautista, Vinales and Jack Miller running in 15th place.
Lorenzo down the hill to this horseshoe Omega corner, turn number 3. Marquez behind him, of course. Different tyre choices in this top four. Jorge Lorenzo and Valentino Rossi, they've got the blue banded asymmetric front tyre on. The Repsol Honda Duo, they've gone for the red banded hard option. It will offer more stability on the brakes for Dani Pedrosa and Marc Marquez. Crucial going into that first corner, crucial going into turn number 12 at the bottom of the hill. Here is Marquez now closing up through turn number 8 on Jorge Lorenzo. Marquez really piling on the pressure.
The good news for race fans is these are exactly the same tyre combinations those guys had in free practice 4, and they were setting their fastest race pace.
Just what we want to hear and see. Race down through turn 11, down towards turn 12. Marquez, I'm sure, will have a go at Lorenzo at some point here. Closes up under the brakes, but he's not close enough as they just run along slightly uphill straight into turn 13. Will the race run all the way here? Will it be decided here on the very last lap? That's what the crowd think. Every one of them on their feet.
There's Marquez. Lorenzo got a great drive out of that final corner. Now there's 26 laps to go. A long, long way to go in this German Grand Prix. But of course, if it does stay as it is, Jorge Lorenzo will take over the World Championship lead going into the summer break from Valentino Rossi. Valentino Rossi, another new lap record from the 36-year-old, a 1:21.641. He's bounced back quickly from that huge moment at turn number 6. He's got right onto the back now of Dani Pedrosa yet again with Lorenzo. That leads the way. And as we say, if it stays like this, he will go into the summer break leading the championship.
It's not going to stay like this.
No, it's not.
It's not going to do it.
We hope not.
I don't think it will. We ride with Pedrosa. There is Rossi right in his face. It really closes up at the front. Marquez at the moment has made no move on Lorenzo, but he's mighty close as they go up the hill through the two left-handers, then the right-hander. Will he for the first time perhaps just have a little look up the inside? Lorenzo is so good down here, but with that stability of braking, no, he is not close enough. Here comes Rossi up the inside of Pedrosa. Rossi moves into third place. Listen to the cheers from all around the Saxon ring.
Yeah, huge noise from the 92,000 fans. Marquez now at the inside of Lorenzo at the final corner. Marquez has made his move at turn 13 at the end of lap number 5. Lorenzo looks to respond immediately on the run down to turn number 1.
Here they come on the brakes. Who is the bravest? Marquez leaves it as late as he can, and Marquez holds the advantage. Is he going to run it wide? Not quite. This is a pivotal moment of the race because Marquez leads for the first time. And I don't say caught us by surprise, but turn 13 we thought it would be at 1 or 12. Marquez leads. Rossi is now up into third place.
The whole complexion of the World Championship changes in just 2 corners there. First it was Rossi up the inside of Dani Pedrosa at turn number 12. Now Marquez chasing a 6th straight victory here in Germany from pole position that has hit the front. Has he now got the speed and pace that we saw in practice to stretch away from the likes of Jorge Lorenzo and Valentino Rossi? Lorenzo now coming under pressure from his teammate Rossi. They climb up the hill through turn number 10. Marquez already stretching out a gap of over 3.5 tenths of a second. Rossi's got to get through on Lorenzo.
Rossi now lining up Jorge Lorenzo as they rush down the hill. This is Rossi's favourite overtaking place, I think, almost in Grand Prix racing. Here he comes on the brakes once again. Not quite close enough this time round, but you do get the feeling, and certainly if you look at the practice times, the qualifying times, everything else, this is going to be a battle for second place, don't you?
Look at that movement from Valentino Rossi, the rear of that Yamaha Wise's RM1 snaking as he got on the power down through that turn number 12. Marquez over the line, personal best lap of the race for the Spaniard, a 1:21.775. He's hit the front and got the hammer down. The lead over 6 tenths of a second on Jorge Lorenzo. Rossi still in third. Dani Pedrosa a further 10th back in fourth. These lead 4 have dropped Andrea Iannone, who's 2 seconds back off Pedrosa. Yoni Hernandez doing a great job of keeping Bradley Smith and Cal Crutchlow behind him in 6th place. It's Marquez now, still just under 7 tenths of a second clear of Lorenzo. Rossi unable to get close to attack on Lorenzo at the moment. Halfway round lap number 7.
Let's have a look at the replay. Here is Pedrosa overtaken, going to be overtaken. We run with Dani Pedrosa. Pedrosa on the brakes. There is Rossi trying desperately to close up on Lorenzo, not able to do so.
But that just shows how the right side of that tyre just cools down around those 7 successive left-handers there. That's why he would have had that bit of a wobble there, getting on the gas whilst he leant over to the right.
Marquez is getting away here. You can see Marquez, the gap stretching out all the time. Rossi knows he's up the inside of Lorenzo at turn 12. That's where he passed Dani Danny Pedrosa, a couple of laps to go. Lorenzo nudges back up the inside of Rossi. The two Yamaha riders having a real good scrap now. Lorenzo holds firm coming up into turn number 13. This is playing into the hands of Marc Marquez.
Wow, they're fighting out for a World Championship lead. Lorenzo did a Rossi, didn't he? Because Rossi took him. He fell back immediately. Here comes Rossi once again at turn 1. Even Rossi can't get past Lorenzo there. Marquez may be getting away at the front, but we are being royally entertained in this battle for second place.
Lap number 7 completed. Marc Marquez, a new lap record of 1:21.610. He was 0.4 of a second quicker than Jorge Lorenzo. The gap for the first time in the race over 1 second. Marquez 1.108 clear of Lorenzo.
Smith moves up into 6th place in front of Yoni Hernandez. Crutchlow 8, 9 Dovizioso. 10 is Lace Espargaro. Paul Espargaro 11. Petrucci, Vinales, Bautista and Miller still running in 15th place.
Here's Rossi and Lorenzo now up the climb through turns number 9 and 10. It was at the bottom of the hill. Turn 12. How many overtakes have we seen Valentino Rossi make down there since we first came here in 1998? He's lining up Lorenzo yet again. This is through that super fast 5th gear. Turn 11. Rossi moves to the inside.
I don't think there's anything Lorenzo can do here at the moment. He'll try and pull back up the inside. He did it last time round. I think Rossi has made it stick this time. Just Rossi now holds on to 2nd place from Lorenzo. Pedrosa not out of it. Crowd on their feet once again. What a race. 1.6 seconds. Marquez is disappointing, but what a race for 2nd place.
The difference there between turn 12 of the previous lap and that pass that Rossi made on Lorenzo. Rossi was able to squeeze it back to the curb on the brakes. He didn't leave the door open for a retaliation from Jorge Lorenzo. So Rossi up to 2nd. He's 1.6 seconds back of Marc Marquez. This is this great battle ensuing for 6th place. Bradley Smith's got to the front of this pack. There's Yoni Hernandez in 7th. It's Cal Crutchlow and Andrea Dovizioso behind him. Lace Espargaro completing the top 10 at the moment on the Suzuki.
Yeah, Yoni Hernandez is doing a great job, but Crutchlow will get frustrated. He can't get past him because the man that he's challenging for the top satellite rider and also the top British rider is getting away from the pack, isn't he, Bradley Smith? Crutchlow all over the rear wheel of Hernandez.
That's a gap at the front between Marquez and Rossi. It's just slowly eking out a 10th through these sectors. Look at the gap that Rossi's already established on Jorge Lorenzo. At 0.4 of a second, Rossi's pulled on Lorenzo already on this lap number 9. The gap between Marquez and Rossi, 1.76 seconds coming up to complete lap number 9. Marquez has already gone through the final corner. Lorenzo now with Danny Pedrosa in hot pursuit.
Oh, look, line made cut. There is 21 laps remaining. Marquez disappearing at the front. 1.8 seconds. Rossi in 2nd place. Lorenzo in 3rd. And Danny Pedrosa will be a danger in 4th place. Rossi will increase his lead in the World Championship.
Marc Marquez now on lap number 10. There you can see him going through the Amiga corner, turn number 3. Marquez 1.832 seconds clear of Valentino Rossi. Rossi himself now over half a second clear of Jorge Lorenzo in 3rd place. If it stays as it is, the World Championship lead for Rossi will be extended to 14 points.
Crutchlow now has got past Yoni Hernandez, is now chasing after Bradley Smith. So Crutchlow 7, Hernandez 8, Dovizioso 9, and Lace Espargaro 10.
Jorge Lorenzo finding it difficult to run the pace of his teammate Valentino Rossi in front, and he's under real pressure now from Danny Pedrosa. Wouldn't be surprised now as they drop down through turn 11 if Pedrosa can get close enough, if he has a move up the inside of Lorenzo on the brakes down into turn number 12. Not quite close enough this time round is Danny Pedrosa, but Jorge Lorenzo is in danger of slipping off the podium here. This will be like gold dust for Valentino Rossi in terms of points for the World Championship.
We ride with Danny Pedrosa. That's Jorge Lorenzo right out of just in front of him. Good drive. Both get good drive out of this final corner. We ride with Lorenzo. We ride with Pedrosa. On the brakes comes Pedrosa up the inside. Will the blue Yamaha come back in front? Will he make it stick? He has made it stick at the moment, but don't rule out Lorenzo. He's through. Pedrosa up into 3rd place.
Danny Pedrosa takes 3rd from Jorge Lorenzo. Marc Marquez has just gone quicker yet again. Here's that move by Pedrosa up the inside on the brakes into that tricky first corner. It really tightens up there. You can see Pedrosa running a little bit too hot on the brakes, but he knew with Jorge Lorenzo on the outside and that Lorenzo would have no way of cutting back to the inside while the Repsol Honda was parked in the middle of the corner. Marc Marquez, new lap record, 1:21.530. He was half a second quicker on that last lap than Valentino Rossi. The gap now extended out to almost 2.5 seconds. Rossi's got half a second cushion over Dani Pedrosa in second. Jorge Lorenzo, though, led this race at the start. He slipped back down to fifth.
Guys, I'm just going to bring you down to pit lane. I'm down here with Scott Redding. Scott, really unfortunate incident there on the first lap. What was it, a cold front tyre?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Scott was doing just a left-handed track, and I lost it in the last corner. So I didn't know fast or anything. Just on the brake release, just lost the contact. And I tried to hold it, but you know, with the uphill as well, just pushed it away. And yeah, I'm very frustrated because we had a good average pace this weekend, and we could have fighted for a top 10 position.
All right, thanks a lot, Scott. But you're okay. Yeah, you're all good.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers.
Oh, old Scott Redding, yeah, it has been flashes of Scott Redding. I tell you what, they want to make this a Honda 1-2, don't they? Dani Pedrosa and Marc Marquez, and now Pedrosa putting some real pressure on Valentino Rossi. But Rossi, he's still in front of Jorge Lorenzo, and that's what's so important for him.
Yeah, Dani Pedrosa on that last lap, so the personal best lap of the race, a 1:21.804. That was exactly 0.4 of a second quicker than the number 46, Valentino Rossi, desperately trying to hold on to that 20 points for second place. He's under real pressure now from Pedrosa. Pedrosa should be able to get close enough for a move either at turn number 12 or perhaps a repeat of the move he made on Jorge Lorenzo on the brakes into the first corner. You can see Lorenzo there on board with Rossi. Lorenzo really struggling to match this pace. He's dropped right off in fourth place.
Down at turn 12, we ride with Rossi, the championship leader, right behind and the most successful man on the grid at the Saxon Ring. 7 wins for Dani Pedrosa. Well, sorry, 6 wins, for Dani Pedrosa. Up through turn 13 they come. He's not quite close enough this time around. Actually, that was a really good last sector by Valentino Rossi.
Yeah, Valentino Rossi has responded. He was the only rider in the top 5, along with Marc Marquez, that was in the 1:21s on that last lap. In fact, Marquez did a 1:21.811, Rossi did a 1:21.939. It was only a fraction of a second quicker than Dani Pedrosa, but just enough to make sure that he wasn't vulnerable to an attack from the Spaniard on the brakes. Here we're going to see this remarkable first corner performance by Jorge Lorenzo.
Yeah, they're the 2 Hondas. He's going round the outside. They call him round the outside, don't they? Just superb. Look at this. Almost touches, up the inside, takes the lead. Thank you very much indeed. Absolutely classic. Oh, we're going to ride with him. It'll be even better now.
He's going to sweep to the left-hand side of the track. You can see Pedrosa and Marquez going for that inside line. They think they've got that first corner covered. Pedrosa got ahead of Marc Marquez. There was perhaps just a little bit of a nudge there, a little bit of contact from Lorenzo. It certainly didn't knock him out of his rhythm. It was an unbelievable, marvellous move around the outside of the 2 Repsol Hondas for Jorge Lorenzo. This is a replay early on in the race when Lorenzo was making the pace at the front through turns 5 and 6, but he's dropped out of podium contention. In fact, a quick glance at the split timing screens, Jorge Lorenzo now is over 1.2 seconds back of Dani Pedrosa. There's Marc Marquez, your race leader, still leading the way by 2.8 seconds. Well, the lead now for the first time in the race over 3 seconds over Valentino Rossi, who's doing a sterling job of keeping a hard charging Dani Pedrosa behind him in second.
This is Andrea Iannone running in 5th place. He's just got a glimpse of Bradley Smith, who's slowly coming under pressure from Cal Crutchlow. Behind Cal Crutchlow is Andrea Dovizioso. This is going to be a closely fought battle for at least 6th place, one would imagine. There's Smith, there's Crutchlow, there is Dovizioso.
Johnny Hernandez has dropped right out of this group. There he is, just coming through your shot at the bottom of turn number 3. He's 9th place is Hernandez, but he's 2.5 seconds now behind that man there, number 4, Andrea Dovizioso. There's Bradley Smith, yet again the top non-factory rider in the field. Cal Crutchlow will be trying to get ahead of the British rider to try and claw back some of that deficit he has in the all-important battle to be the top satellite rider.
Yeah, Crutchlow, since he got past Johnny Hernandez, has closed the gap on Bradley Smith. You've got to say it's a disappointing performance at the moment by the GP15 or Andrea Dovizioso. They may pull something out. Hernandez, Alicia Spargo, Danilo Petrucci, Paul Spargo, Maverick Vinales, Alvaro Batista, Jack Miller hanging in there with that single championship point.
He's in a real good fight, Jack Miller, with Alvaro Bautista for 14th place at the moment. There is Johnny Hernandez now, who's coming under real pressure from the Espargaro Vinales on the second Suzuki, right at the back of your shot there. That's at 13th place. The point scorers are completed by Bautista and Miller. And there's Paul Espargaro up the inside of his brother Aleix at the first corner. Aleix Espargaro has a glance over his shoulder. He'll see his teammate Maverick Vinales immediately behind him. Marc Marquez's lead now, 3.2 seconds over Valentino Rossi. Rossi stretched his lead over Pedrosa to just up to 3/10. Rossi put through that first sector. Has somebody gone down there?
I think somebody did go down there.
Just see a Marshall running off there.
And there was certainly some dust in the air, wasn't it? Andrea Dovizioso out on the Ducati. He looks okay, but at the start of the season in such brilliant form, but it hasn't been so good the last few races. And Andrea Dovizioso out of the race here at the Sachsenring, crashing out of 8th place.
He was trying to get in the fight for 7th with Cal Crutchlow. Disastrous run now for Andrea Dovizioso. It's the third time in 4 races he hasn't finished. Marquez is over the line to start lap number 16. 3.629 seconds clear of that man there, Valentino Rossi. This is this intense fight for 2nd place between Rossi and Dani Pedrosa. Dani Pedrosa, of course, a 6-time winner here at the Sachsenring. That's the record that Marc Marquez is trying to emulate this afternoon. Look at that, though, in terms of the championship for Valentino Rossi. Great news if he can stay in 2nd place, because he'll increase that lead over Jorge Lorenzo by 7 points. It'll be 17-point lead for Rossi going into round 10 in Indianapolis in 4 weeks' time.
Well, going into Assen, it was 1 point, wasn't it? So Rossi's done a mighty good job. I don't think Pedrosa's done for yet by any stretch of the imagination. We ride with him. Valentino Rossi in front of him. Under the bridge they come, then they start to climb up towards turn 8. He's very, very close indeed to Dani Pedrosa. May even have a nibble at turn 9 up coming up the top here, probably not, but he could be close enough to have a real go when they come down from turn 11 to 12.
But we know Valentino Rossi is so strong on the brakes going down into this 12th corner. Dani Pedrosa's going to have to make the absolute perfect pass if he's going to take 2nd place from Valentino Rossi. This is where Rossi moved by Lorenzo and Pedrosa early on in the race. So you can see Marc Marquez just ahead going through that final corner, through this tricky uphill left-hander where we saw Scott Redding crash out on the very first lap. Marquez has crossed the line. Valentino Rossi's put forward there, plus 1/10 ahead of Pedrosa, getting a sign that he's 1.3 seconds clear of Lorenzo. He's making absolutely no impression in trying to get back in this fight for 2nd place. In fact, Lorenzo now 1.5 seconds behind Pedrosa.
Yeah, Rossi got a real hurry-up signal, didn't he? And he's done an excellent job to hold Pedrosa at bay. We ride with Marc Marquez. We've almost forgotten him. We really shouldn't, because it's been a masterclass all weekend from Marquez. Going to make the 2nd half of the season very, very interesting indeed. He's not going to win the World Championship, but he's going to win some Grand Prix, and that could have a massive bearing on the outcome of the World Championship. He came here, as I said, a year ago, chasing his 9th successive win of the season. It's been a wretched old time for him. Where we saw an Aston that riding with that old frame, it just seems to give him that little bit of confidence. It's made a big, big difference. Elbow down from the double MotoGP world champion.
And then you can see he's got that red banded hard up to front tyre. Here's Dani Pedrosa up the inside of Valentino Rossi. Pedrosa moves up into 2nd place, but he's been lining that move up now for a succession of laps, and he finally makes it stick at the bottom of the hill, turn number 12. Pedrosa now makes it a Repsol Honda 1-2. He's through on Rossi. What has Rossi got in response?
Well, Rossi, we know, will like to get back as quick as he can, but you can say it was a shrewd old move from Pedrosa. Here comes Rossi in turn 1. Got in very, very hot indeed, but not hot enough, but hangs under the rear wheel of Pedrosa. He won't let the situation wait. He will go back at him as soon as he can. Classic overtaking here at the Sachsenring from the man that's done it a million times to others.
Yeah, the doctor getting a bit of a taste of his own medicine there at turn number 12. Great move there by Dani Pedrosa. Now, can he streak away from Valentino Rossi in 2nd place? Of course, Pedrosa and Marquez, the only 2 riders that have got that red banded hard compound front Bridgestone tyre on. We've seen the track conditions here, the hottest they've been all weekend. It was only put into the allocation, that tyre, a couple of days before we arrived here in the Sachsenring, in case there was exceedingly hot temperatures. And the Repsol Honda duo, they've taken the gamble, and it's a gamble that so far has paid off handsomely.
They come over the top once again. This is where Pedrosa made the move on Rossi. Is Rossi close enough to make the move on Pedrosa? Don't think even Valentino Rossi can outbreak him into the turn. We ride with Rossi. That's Pedrosa in front of him. This is the battle for third place. There's just over 12 laps of this round 9 of the championship to go as they come up to 13 and over the line. So we ride with Valentino Rossi, now running in third place. It's Danny Pedrosa up into second place. Marc Marquez leading the way. It's a Honda 1-2 here at the Saxon Ring, leading the two Yamahas.
12 laps of this race to go. Marc Marquez now the only rider in the field still able to run in the 121s. He did a 121.994 on the previous lap, 0.3 of a second clear of his teammate Pedrosa. The gap now 4.5 seconds.
Well, you've got to say, they've looked good in practice, they've looked good in qualifying, the two Hondas, but Rossi would increase his lead in the World Championship over Lorenzo. Marquez on his way to the first win of the season.
Valentino Rossi knows that those 4 points for second place will be absolutely pivotal in his battle for the championship with Jorge Lorenzo. That's why he'll be absolutely desperate to make sure he carries on the fight with Danny Pedrosa. These are 0.165 seconds back at the moment. There is Danny Pedrosa. This is where he made the move on Rossi a couple of laps ago, down at the bottom of the hill. He's not been able to pull away as yet.
No, he hasn't.
Nine-time world champion.
You're absolutely right, and that's going to make for a very, very exciting last part of the race. I did think he may, rather than Marc Marquez, start get away from Valentino Rossi. He hasn't. Right, Moose, they're telling him. You can probably hear the Yamaha. But Dylan, right, just fill us in about the tyres and what we think may happen in these last 10 laps.
Basically, Bridgestone they said that if the temperature drops, then they said Honda might have a few problems. However, the temperature is not dropping. If anything, it's getting hotter. It feels very humid, very sticky, and that is certainly playing into the Honda's hands at the moment. And as you see, they're making all their passes. They're gaining that time in that braking area. The asymmetric front shouldn't drop off. It's not hot enough for that, but it's certainly going to make it tougher for those guys. And just on the pit board, vamos, that's Spanish for let's go for Danny Pedrosa.
I think even I knew that. My Spanish isn't that good. Excellent ride by Bradley Smith. He really is holding Cal Crutchlow at bay by about a second, isn't he?
I was just going to say, actually, Bradley Smith has gapped Cal Crutchlow in that battle for 6th place. Smith trying to hunt down Andrea Iannone in 5th. Iannone is 5th, Bradley Smith 6th, with a gap between the two of them 1.3 seconds. But Bradley Smith has stretched out his advantage over his fellow British rider Cal Crutchlow to 1.3 seconds. This is that all-Suzuki fight for 11th place between Aleix Espargaro and Maverick Vinales. They're desperately trying to hang on to a battle with Danilo Petrucci. Claudio Corti, the number 71, replacing the injured Stefan Bradl. He's entered the pit. Dylan could probably give us some information.
Yes, well, no, sorry, not on Claudio Corti at the moment. I'm just with Ducati, so Dobby not keen on talking right now. Obviously, he's a little bit upset, but just to confirm, it was a low side crash, but he is absolutely fine. I'll bring you an update on Claudio Corti in a minute.
And thanks, Dylan. All Suzuki battle, not where they'd want to be, is it? Aleix Espargaro and Maverick Vinales. Yeah, that battle for the podium, didn't we? It was only, 4 weeks ago in for pole in Barcelona just 4 weeks ago, but it's been a cracking start to their return to Grand Prix racing. Johnny Hernandez, what a ride by him. He said he wanted a top 10 finish, but he's currently running in 8th place. Oh, who's this? It's Marc Marquez. Masterclass from the world champion. Just augurs well for the second half of the season. As I say, I don't think he's going to win the world. He's not going to win the world championship. I think he's pretty certain of that, but he's going to upset a few apple carts on the way to it. Well, that time it's going to go either to Valentino Rossi or Jorge Lorenzo.
Marquez down in the braking zone for turn number 12. Third gear through this long left-hander, and it's up the rise again. He'll stay in third, drop it back 1 gear to second for this rise up the hill again through the final corner. Real undulating circuit. There's 2.281 miles. Saxon Ring track, the shortest on the Grand Prix calendar. 9 laps to go for the reigning world champion Marc Marquez. Braking for the first corner. This is where he got surprised by Jorge Lorenzo on the first lap of the race. There's been no surprises for Marc Marquez since. He's a comfortable 4.42 seconds clear of Danny Pedrosa in second place, and the gap now between Pedrosa and Rossi just been stretched out to over 3/10 of a second for the first time. Lorenzo slipped back now 1.7 seconds behind his teammate Valentino Rossi.
Yes, Jorge Lorenzo will be disappointed, especially after taking the lead quite brilliantly at the start of the race. Dylan.
Yes, quick update on Claudio Corti, guys. So they haven't rolled his bike back in. What had happened was he lost the front about 2 or 3 times, made some really good saves not to crash, but of course he felt quite unsafe. What the team is doing now, obviously they want to find out what the problem is. They're not going to get a great result, but they can get a result themselves. They've left the bike outside. They're going to pop in a new set of tyres and send him back out again to see whether it was the bike or the tyres.
Just eking out a tenth of a second at the time, isn't he, in this battle for second place with Valentino Rossi. Has Rossi got anything left in the locker, knowing him the way the 36-year-old has ridden this season? Yes, he has. And almost as we say it, he visibly closes up on Pedrosa, doesn't he?
Danny Pedrosa's pit board. The Thanos is gone, let's go.
I mean, look at the gap has closed. Rossi's very, very good for that fourth sector, last sector, isn't it? I don't think there's a lot that Jorge Lorenzo can do, do you? He can just about see the riders in front of him. He's just going to pick up his points, but he'd be off the podium for the first time, well, certainly for 5 races.
Yeah, he had that golden run, didn't he, from Jerez through to Barcelona when he won 4 races in succession. The pendulum and the momentum really swung back in Lorenzo's favour in that factory Yamaha garage, but Valentino Rossi has seized it back in Aston, and certainly here so far in the Saxon ring. Valentino Rossi still winning in 3rd place. The gap has just eked out again to 2/10 of a second. There is a very, very dejected and disappointed Andrea Dovizioso. He's on a shocking run of form at the moment, is the Italian. 3rd DNF now in the last 4 races. He's had some bad luck in that Magellan with that rear sprocket issue and that seam problem that he had in the last round in Aston.
Been a bit of a lonely old ride, isn't it, for Andrea Iannone, but once again he's in that top 5. He's the top non-Yamaha or Honda or Yamaha, and he is the leading Ducati, and that really sums up this first half of the season as a factory rider.
Yeah, Bradley Smith actually was making some big inroads into Andrea Iannone in that battle for 5th, but Iannone in the last couple of laps has really stepped his pace up, and Bradley Smith now over 2 seconds back in 6th place as Rossi now closes right up again on Danny Pedrosa. Last lap between the two, almost an identical lap time there. You can see on the last lap Pedrosa that 1:22.083, Rossi 1:22.067. Absolutely nothing between Pedrosa and Rossi in this fight for second place. Marc Marquez 4.3 seconds clear at the front of the field.
Yeah, I think we both felt that perhaps Pedrosa was going to open the gap. He hasn't done that. Rossi is right with him. It's just when he makes the move, or when he's close enough to make the move, and when he does it. He may not want to do it just yet. If he can run this sort of pace with Pedrosa, he may bide his time. There you go. It would be 13 points if it remains the same. It'd obviously be bigger than that by another 4 points, wouldn't it, if Rossi can get past Pedrosa. Now, you're impressed with those mathematics, aren't you? Where they correct.
Impressed with your maths all day, actually. You've got it bang on the money in every race so far. Here's Rossi now closing again on Pedrosa through turn number 12. And Pedrosa just has not been able to break away from the Yamahas like Marc Marquez did so comfortably at the front. And Valentino Rossi, he knows, as we said earlier on, those 4 points that were up for grabs here with this second place, they could prove absolutely pivotal in the final reckoning of the championship. Rossi will be getting his pit board knowing that Jorge Lorenzo is almost 3 seconds behind.
6 laps to go. They're down through turn 1, 2, down towards the overcut curve. Rossi biding his time. He's closed the gap on Pedrosa. Where will he make his move? Will he bide his time? The smile from the team. They know that at some stage he's going to have a go. What can Pedrosa do? There's nothing Jorge Lorenzo can do. Have a lonely old ride in 4th place. Iannone 5th, Smith 6th, Crutchlow. Paul Espargaro has got past Yoni Hernandez. So now we have Petrucci, Vinales, Alessio Espargaro, Alvaro Bautista, Hector Barber, and Jack Miller still in 15th place, and Nicky Hayden crossing the line in 16th.
Yeah, Hector Barber has just made a move to move up into 14th on Jack Miller. Paul Espargaro has moved into 8th ahead of Yoni Hernandez, and Maverick Vinales now leads the Suzuki fight. There he is, number 25. He's just made a move on Alessio Espargaro. Next in his sights is number 68, Yoni Hernandez. Great ride actually by Danilo Petrucci, qualified 10 places behind his teammate Yoni Hernandez, and now he leads him in this race as Vinales has a look up the inside at turn number 8. No, he's not quite close enough on that Suzuki. There's Paul Espargo leading this battle for 8th place. Marc Marquez has crossed the line to start his 26th lap. The gap between Pedrosa, the all-important gap between Dani Pedrosa and Valentino Rossi, 0.22 tenths over the line. 5 laps to go.
Here comes Vinales up the inside of Yoni Hernandez, and he's gone through on the Suzuki. So he's looking for that record, point scoring in the first 9 races, first time we've seen, first time it will ever happen for a rookie in MotoGP. He's doing an excellent job, Maverick Vinales. He's had a couple of podium finishes here at the Saxon Ring in 125 and Moto3. Paul Espargo, Petrucci, there is Vinales, currently running in 10th place. We have just under 5 laps to go. Round 9 of the MotoGP World Championship. Marquez leading very comfortably indeed. Behind him, Pedrosa trying to eke out those tenths of a second once again from Valentino Rossi. I think Rossi's just preparing for one big charge at the end.
This is where Valentino Rossi's been really strong all weekend, down into this 4th sector. They've gone through the 3rd split. The gap still 2 tenths of a second between Rossi and Pedrosa. Coming up now, coming up the hill to this left-hand of the final corner. Pedrosa with that red-banded hard option front Bridgestone tyre will certainly be giving him more braking stability. He's getting a board there, 4 laps to go, plus 0.1 over Valentino Rossi. The gap in reality is over 2.5 tenths.
And in turn 1 they come. 2 of the most experienced riders in Grand Prix racing, both of them of course 250cc world champions, but of course no MotoGP world title for Dani Pedrosa. So much bad luck, so many injuries, even this season. Of course missed 3 races when he had that major arm pump operation. Just comparing those lap times, well, Pedrosa just about holding the advantage. Pedrosa really now on a bit of a charge, but Rossi in the second part of this circuit is so quick. They're about halfway through. They're running along the bottom end of the circuit. 3.5 laps to go.
Yeah, it looks like finally we're on lap 27 that Dani Pedrosa might have broken Valentino Rossi's result, because the gap now is up to 7 tenths of a second. That's the biggest gap we've seen between the two of them for the entirety of this battle for second place. There you can see it now, clearly visible on your screens. Dani Pedrosa, he's come through that 3rd sector. He's almost 8 tenths of a second clear now of Valentino Rossi. We pick up back on board with the double MotoGP world champion Marc Marquez. He's just about to come over the line. 3 laps to go for Marquez.
Yeah, just telling us Pedrosa and Rossi behind him. He doesn't really need to know the gap, does he? Into turn 1, fully concentrated. Yeah, and I think Pedrosa's done it. I mean, Rossi wants to finish second, but Rossi knows if he remains the same, he will increase his lead over Jorge Lorenzo, and that is more important than anything for Valentino Rossi.
Yeah, Dani Pedrosa has definitely done it. The Spaniard just set a personal best lap of the race on lap 27, a 1:21.714 from Dani Pedrosa. That was half a second quicker than Valentino Rossi. So Dani Pedrosa really did get the hammer down on that 27th lap to put clear daylight between himself and Rossi. There's Andrea Iannone, as Nick said, running a pretty lonely 5th place, but it will continue his excellent record of finishing inside the top 6 in all 9 rounds of the championship so far. Bradley Smith is 2.6 seconds back of the Italian on the Ducati, but there you can clearly see now Dani Pedrosa.
It's as if Rossi has said, I've given it my all, it's getting too quick, I'm going to have to take some mighty big risks. I got that lead in the World Championship, I'm going to finish on the podium, I can't do it. And as we said, he will increase his lead in the championship, and that's surely what he set out to do at the start of the proceedings. I think deep down everybody knew that perhaps it was going to be the Hondas that would run away with it, and certainly this man, number 93. 2 laps to go for Marc Marquez. Got to say, great ride by Dani Pedrosa.
Yeah, and as we know that Pedrosa's on that hard option front tyre, Rossi on the asymmetric, and you just feel now, we heard from Bridgestone at the start of the race, the asymmetric front, 2 steps softer on the right hand side, so perhaps just Danny Pedrosa on that harder option, he's just been able to keep that grip for longer. Rossi will probably having some a few movements now on the right hand side of that tyre, certainly coming through the likes of that fast turn 11. Pedrosa will just have a bit more stability as he drops down the hill, and you can easily lose 2 or 3 tenths of a second in that final sector.
It's just not worth it for Valentino Rossi. Here is Danny Pedrosa, as we say, 6 times a winner here after the Saxon Ring. Not going to win this time out. He was second last year, wasn't he, behind Marc Marquez, so another second place. Rossi will increase the lead in the championship order at 2 Suzukis. This will be serious, I can tell you. Aleix Espargaro, Maverick Vinales are almost side by side into turn 1. I tell you, Aleix Espargaro is going to come up the inside. Can he make it stick? Worst person that can beat you is your team manager David Premier got his hands in his mouth.
So he did. Here comes Marc Marquez then to start the final lap of this German Grand Prix. He's led the way for much of it. He leads by 2.8 seconds over his teammate Danny Pedrosa. Pedrosa now in a pretty comfortable second place with his gap extended to Valentino Rossi to 1.2 seconds. Rossi himself in a safe third with Jorge Lorenzo a further 5 seconds back. There's Andrea Iannone in 5th. The man on the charge actually further down the field was Hector Barber on the previous lap. He was lapping as quick as Andrea Iannone and Bradley Smith.
Let's have a look then at Marc Marquez. We probably haven't seen a great deal of him in this race because once he made it clear when he got to the front, he did clear off just as we thought he could, just as I think the whole field knew that he would. The team wait, they're not going to celebrate yet. There are too many ups and downs this season to do that, but great for the championship. Marc Marquez is back right bang on it, and that's going to make for a great second half of the season. Got to say, it's been a fantastic first half of the season as well.
Marc Marquez through the waterfall section for the final time. He's going to take only his second victory of the season, his first since he won at round 2 at the Circuit of the Americas here in Texas. Here comes Marc Marquez now through turn number 12, coming to the final corner, the Spaniard.
Marc Marquez wins his 6th consecutive race here at the Saxon Ring. His 2nd Grand Prix win of the season. Marquez is back.
Danny Pedrosa takes a brilliant second place. Valentino Rossi, he'll be pretty happy with that third because it means he's increased his World Championship lead over his teammate Jorge Lorenzo to 14 points. Lorenzo in a pretty lonely 4th place after he led early on in this race. There's Andrea Iannone, fastest Ducati again for the 4th race in succession. Bradley Smith, yet again the top non-factory rider, completes the top 6.
Great ride by Smith. Crutchlow in 7th place. Should be Smith's teammate Paul Espargaro crossing the line in 8th. Danilo Petrucci 9th. And Aleix Espargaro 10th. He won that battle, the Suzuki battle with Maverick Vinales. He's in 11th place. Yoni Hernandez, Hector Barber is really coming strong at the end of the race. We wait for him to arrive. He should be down in 13th place. He is. Alvaro Bautista on the Aprilia 14th. And has Jack Miller done it? He has. Jack Miller picks up a very hard-earned point in 15th place with Nicky Hayden in 16th spot, just in front of his teammate Eugene Lavity. Alex de Angelis in 18th. Lawrence Paz in 19th. We celebrate with Marc Marquez. It is Lawrence Paz in 19th place. Let's see if Michael Lafferty on the Aprilia has done it. Michael Lafferty through in 20th.
There's Danny Pedrosa. It's all smiles this time around at Repsol Honda. There is Shuhei Nakamoto, the HRC Vice President. Congratulated Marc Marquez, his father there.
Rossi is really pleased, isn't he?
Well, when the Hondas were so strong, Valentino Rossi knew it was a case of damage limitation against Marquez and Pedrosa, but he knew that he had to win that inter-team battle with Jorge Lorenzo. That's his main rival for the World Championship, and those, as we said, those 4 points now that he leads. Was it 13? It's 13 points actually now that Rossi leads Lorenzo, but as you said, Nick, going into the Aston round a couple of weeks ago, it was down to 1 point, so a good couple of weeks' work by Valentino Rossi, but nobody could live with that man all weekend, to be fair. Combination there, a 6th successive win from pole position at the Saxon Ring for Marc Marquez. This is 47th career Grand Prix victories, 21st in the Premier class. His first since round 2 in Texas. Marc Marquez, well, he is back well and truly back to his best form, no doubt about that. He dominated the whole weekend.
Roll on the second start of the season. Valentino Rossi leads that championship confirmation by 13 points. He is really pleased because he's increased his lead over Jorge Lorenzo. Another podium finish for Rossi behind the two Hondas. I don't think he could have done any more. Tell you what, he pushed very, very hard, didn't he? But he's pleased, really happy about that.
Yeah, Valentino Rossi celebrating that like he won the race.
Yeah.
He knows how important that could be in the final reckoning for the championship. That continues his great run of form, a 13th consecutive podium finish for Valentino Rossi. What a great run he's on at the moment. There's Danny Pedrosa. That's the 7th podium finish in 9 visits to the Saxon Ring for the Spaniard. Didn't have the pace to run with his teammate Marc Marquez, but he broke Valentino Rossi in those final crucial 3 or 4 laps.
That's what Rossi's saying to him as well. I couldn't run with that at the end. Yeah, 1-2 for Honda. Shuri Nakamoto, Vice President of HRC, celebrates, as you say. We haven't seen this sort of celebration for quite a time. Here he is, the race winner. 6 in a row at the Saxon Ring. Boy, Lorenzo, very, very disappointed indeed after that brilliant start to the race. He's back. Roll on the second.
Marc Marquez kembali lagi hari ini menggila di Saxon Ring. Jadi ya ternyata